Y'all, the video you're about to see was recorded a couple months ago, so it is not new. I am not getting to atheist objections today. If you guys left a comment on the last few videos, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to respond to them. Well, I don't know when I'm going to respond to them, I should say. Hopefully within the next couple days, God willing. Keep leaving your comments. I'll get to them as soon as possible. Enjoy this video. It comes from my Instagram account, my first Instagram video. Check that out, Common Sense Christianity, and see you guys.
All right, y'all. So we are going to start our Common Sense Christianity series on Instagram. We will be uploading weekly, going through our entire book as I have right here. It's not available, but we're still going to talk about it, and we're going to start with chapter 1. I'm going to give the evidence for God's existence. I'm going to be very brief and try and get through all the information as quickly as I can. So obviously our entire religion would be false if there was no God, but is there any credible evidence for his existence, or are we just blindly following a non-existent God? In my opinion, there is massive evidence for the existence, I should say, of an all-powerful, eternal, and loving God. But how can we even begin to prove such a thing? Using evidence that nature and philosophy provides us, we can show that there is design in life and the universe. One of the best arguments for the existence of God is the teleological argument. This is the oldest but most convincing argument for the existence of God. The earth and the universe itself shows that someone must have created it. For example, our DNA. Those of you who have biology class with me will understand how complex the whole process of it is. So, as we all know, DNA is a special code located in our cell's nucleus. The code makes you different from every other living thing on Earth. We could take, if you were to take all of the DNA in your body and stretch it out, it would go from here to the sun over 600 times. That's a lot of DNA inside of you. And all of that DNA has information that makes you, you. So I pose the question of, if there is a code, shouldn't there be a code error? Me being a Christian would say yes, but let's look at the atheist perspective. The average atheist would say it was all by random processes. They wouldn't necessarily say that, but that's really what it is, since if there is no God, everything is random and follows by natural law and natural order, which I would also pose the question of, if there is no God, then who made the natural law and who is the lawmaker in the process? Why does the universe, I should say, go by natural order? Why isn't everything random? And you can make this argument with a lot of things. You can make it about the creation of the universe also. How come everything was just right for life to appear just on this planet? You cannot find life anywhere else in the universe as of now. And it takes a lot of conditions that we need for life in the universe. And the most important one is water, as we all know. And when you really get down to it, about 4 billion years ago, earlier in the Earth's existence, there was this other planet that smashed into the Earth, and the Earth was all jumbled up, and then this piece of rock flew out and later became the moon. Then the Earth cooled, and somehow water started to come onto the Earth, and then eventually it created the right conditions for life. Now that's a huge coincidence, and it's a coincidence that I say points to a designer in it all. Atheists have to have more faith than Christians in order to believe that this universe, that life on Earth came out of chance, pure chance and accidents. So atheists block out the logical possibility of a God existing. Atheists argue that we fill in the gaps of human knowledge with God. If you think this way about Christians, you're an idiot. Saying that God is the best explanation for how the universe began isn't God of the gaps. If there's a creation, you assume there's a creator. That's logic. You can't just say that we're filling in the gaps of human knowledge. The whole point of this book, is to show you that Christianity is the best explanation for why everything is the way it is. Scientists do the exact same thing. Bacteria explains what causes certain illnesses. I wouldn't say that's explaining the gaps of our knowledge. There's so much we don't know about certain diseases, but we know there's a general cause. And this is a very simple argument to understand. There is always if when you look at design, there has to be a designer. This iPad that I'm using to record this video was designed by Apple. I'm not just going to say, well, maybe with the right parts were in the right place at the right time and using geological forces and nature, maybe, just maybe they come together. That's not how it works. But with atheism, that's exactly how it works. That makes absolutely no sense. So let's go in and talk about a couple objections that atheists like to do. So the common atheist, realizing that his arguments aren't that reasonable, will go on to say, well, what about the multiverse? Maybe there is many universes, and all of them had certain conditions, and then we just happen to be in the right one with the right conditions for life. Now, atheists complain to be the voices of reason, but this isn't a reasonable argument at all. It is absolutely unreasonable. You can't even see the half of this universe. First, I will pose a question on what defines another universe. Second of all, you still can't ignore the beginning of it all, because you still need usable energy. Eventually, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, trillions of years from now, the universe will come to its demise because we'll run out of usable energy in the universe. So that I just totally dismiss that claim. First off, and in conclusion, I find the existence of God is the most reasonable explanation for the existence of the universe and why we're here. I attempted to make this as simple as possible for the common atheist, for the common Christian, agnostic, etc. There is so much more evidence and arguments for the existence of God, I decided it's not necessary to add it all in this video, because you guys will get really bored easily, and we've already been 6 minutes in. Please, guys, go look at our podcast. I go into more detail on this stuff, and we're going to continue with this. I'm going to be uploading every week, hopefully, by God's grace. If you have any questions, email me at commonsensechristianitypodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Ethan Foster here with Common Sense Christianity.